How economists invented austerity. Austerity didn't fall from the sky. It wasn't a natural law. It wasn't common sense economics. It was invented, designed, promoted, and justified by economists who believed that cutting public spending, shrinking the state, and disciplining workers would create a stronger economy. But history shows something darker. Every time austerity is pushed to the extreme, societies become unstable. And in that instability, authoritarian movements thrive. Today, we're diving into how austerity was created and how it helped open the door to fascism in the past. The birth of austerity, an economic idea with a political purpose. Austerity emerged in the early 20th century as a theory that governments should cut spending, reduce welfare, lower wages, balance budgets at all costs. Economists argued this would restore confidence. But confidence for who? Not workers. Not families. Not communities. Austerity was designed to protect investors, creditors, financial markets. It was an economic philosophy built around discipline, especially the discipline of ordinary people. The Great Depression, when austerity made everything worse. During the 1930s, many governments responded to economic collapse by cutting spending. The result? Unemployment skyrocketed. Poverty deepened. Social unrest exploded. Economists later admitted these cuts intensified the crisis. But the damage was already done. When people lose jobs, homes, and hope, they look for answers. And that's when extremist movements step in. Germany and Italy. Austerity as the fertile ground for fascism. Before fascism rose, both Germany and Italy imposed harsh austerity. Public services slashed. Wages frozen or cut. Taxes raised on workers. Unemployment left to spiral. People were desperate. Democracy looked weak. Traditional politicians looked powerless. Into that vacuum came leaders who promised strength, order, national pride. Simple solutions. Someone to blame. Austerity didn't cause fascism, but it created the perfect conditions for it to grow. Why austerity weakens democracy? Austerity hits ordinary people hardest. Schools decline. Healthcare collapses. Local services disappear. Wages stagnate. Inequality rises. When people feel abandoned, they lose trust in democratic institutions. They stop believing the system works for them. They become vulnerable to movements that promise radical change, even if that change is authoritarian. History shows a clear pattern. Economic pain plus political frustration equals fertile ground for extremism. The myth of there is no alternative. Austerity is often sold as unavoidable. But that's a narrative, not a fact. Economists invented austerity. They can reinvent alternatives too. History shows. Investment rebuilds economies. Strong public services stabilize societies. Fair wages strengthen communities. Social safety nets prevent radicalization. Austerity is a choice, not destiny. Why this history matters today. Whenever societies face rising inequality, stagnant wages, high living costs, cuts to essential services, political frustration, the same risks reappear. Austerity doesn't just shrink budgets. It shrinks hope. And when hope disappears, dangerous ideologies fill the void. Understanding this history isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because societies that recognize the warning signs can choose a different path. Austerity was invented by economists. But its consequences were written by history. When workers are pushed down, when communities are stripped of support, when people feel abandoned, democracy weakens, and extremism grows. The lesson is simple. If we want strong societies, we must invest in people, not punish them.